Hi, Isabel Litzler, Playad HC, the place to be to develop your skills and grow your potential. So today I want to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is placement, because I do get a lot of queries about placement and whether I place people. So as I said in different videos, I don't do placement, meaning I don't push your application or your resume to contacts because I don't believe in that. I really believe in the longer term solution, which is to build up your profile, to be employable, and in any type of industry, really be flexible and be able to adapt and know what to do to find a job for yourself. So the idea is not to make you dependent on any type of fixed solution, but really to make you autonomous in your job search, in your skills, so that you can get a job, because there is no such thing as an easy fix. And even people who do get placement from placement agencies, maybe it works once, and then after that, maybe they don't get called back, and they can't really rely on that as a source to find a job. So my tips today would be about how do you work with the concept of placement in your job search, because I do understand that it's also a service and people have time to manage, etc. So what are my tips on how to see placement really in your job search? So the number one thing is to see placement as one of the activities that you do in your job search, meaning you're connecting with placement agencies. And these are really specialized in finding the right person for the organization and actually placing you. So it's good to have a few contacts and to network with them so that when they have a vacancy, they think about you. No one could possibly think about doing a serious job search without having a couple of contacts in placement agencies. They are completely part of the job search process, even though now there's more ways of finding opportunities, and I would say probably more direct than the placement agencies where you're connecting via a person. But I still would put it as one of the activities that you need to do. So you do need contacts in placement agencies, which is something I do provide in my package. So I will put you in touch with agencies. For me, that's important, but I am not the person placing directly. So that's number one. Number two is that knowing that it's good to have contacts, you need to develop more creative ways of looking for a job. So the whole thing about placement, I think, works very well if you're in a high demand type of field. So if you're the specific developer that everyone is looking for in IT, then probably the placement would work well because you're in demand. So placement agencies would be running after you to have a chance to place you with a company and get the placement fee. But if you're in a non-in-demand type of sector where there's already plenty of people and everyone is fighting to get placed, probably it's not going to be the best strategy for you. So placement only works when you're in high demand. And then it's really a plus for the agency that's placing you. You don't have to wait for too long because you will be picked up quickly. But if you're in any of the people that are more average, maybe you're an admin assistant or you're, a manager somewhere. And again, by meaning average, I don't mean it's there, negative, but you're just not someone that's high in demand right now. You have a skill, but your skill is not high in demand. So you're just struggling with everybody else that has the same skill set as you that's trying to be seen by the recruiter. So your placement thing won't really work. You need to develop other methods like going to network events, putting more efforts to be seen, because you're not the type of person that people will run after because, again, you don't have those high in demand skills. Maybe also you have other complications like you're older or you're too young, or this is also things that you need to think about. So knowing you're not the number one target of placement agencies, you need to develop other creative ways. So networking, having a perfect profile in writing and online where people really understand what it is that you do. You're really building this rapport with employers so that they're invited to contact with you. Maybe you're writing some articles. So I really believe in social media to really build up your profile. So those are just examples on how to use alternative methods to be seen. And number three is to realize that nothing is guaranteed anymore. So again, as I said earlier, placement agencies maybe will or will not be around. So you can't really trust on one person or one agency that's always going to find you a job. So that's why I really believe in making yourself more autonomous in your skill set, being able to change and adapt quickly if the market evolves, and having the skills to place yourself, for me, is much more valuable. because then you will always be able to find solutions, no matter what age you are or where you sit, etc. So really building up your independence, your autonomy, maybe having some passive income. I talked about that as well. Nowadays, you don't want to have all your thing in one bucket. So if you have only one income, which is your job, that's probably not a good strategy long term. Maybe your job won't exist. So if you have already built up some type of alternative income, that's going to put less pressure on you. So I'll make also a video on what kind of passive incomes are out there that you can start now, especially if you have a job and you can put money aside. So thank you very much. I'll talk to you soon.